You're such an asshole.
So I was reminded on the Twittergrams, I got into an exchange, not a heated exchange, normal exchange between Paul from the Command Man podcast, none other than the Vlad Elkins, and then girl, sushi girl. I forget her name now. It's escape. I could see her as bright as day. And Chad said, "Yeah, if it wasn't for Clary, I wouldn't have had my girlfriend." And then Paul's like, "Clary knows girls to set you up with," and and it reminded me that it's 3 summers, 2.5 years. I have been in South Dakota trying to set up my friend, the Great One, with a girl because I help a brother out. Okay. I know about you. Everyone says they try to help a brother out. Very few do. But if I'm out there and there's a girl that matches his requirements, I'll go like, "Hey, you got a boyfriend?" And then they think I'm hitting on them and they freak out because all you under 30 somethings are a bunch of pussies and haven't asked out girls. It's a shocking experience. Lord knows if the cops have been called. A weird guy over there asked me if I had a boyfriend. The nerve of that guy. I got the gray going on now, so I'm creepy and old. Beforehand, I was just creepy. But I do. It's not. Again, there are not, it may shock you, not a lot of hot women, not a lot of thin women in these parts here of the country in South Dakota. But, there are some. And I'll see a gal and I'll be like, "Hey, are you single?" And a lot of times they will say no. They say yes. And I say, "Oh, you're not single?" I'm sorry, if you are single, say, "I have a friend and I have a picture." So it's like, "Well, what's he like?" I mean, I say, "He's not weird. Just that's until you get to know him. But as far as you could tell, he's normal. The picture looks normal anyway." And it's most of them, "Oh, okay." So, "Well, what's your number? Let me know if you're interested. And here's my number. You text me." I haven't gotten to text yet. Until a while, not more than a couple days ago. I was out in public. I don't know what else. If you're out, you're in public. There's this really cute girl. I'm like, that's the type the Great One likes. And I said, "Hey, are you single?" She says, "I am." I say, "Do you like older guys?" Because let's just be honest, Great One ain't no young spring chicken anymore. He's middle-aged, but I just, I want him to know. I don't want to waste their time or the Great One's time. And she's like, "Well, I'm not against it. You got a picture?" I'm like, "Yeah, here he is." "Oh, yeah, he is handsome." She says, "Well, I could use an older man." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Maybe she's had enough of, I don't know, 34-year-old men that live at home. Maybe she's had enough of the 28-year-olds who vote Democrat and begging for a student loan. Maybe she's just had enough of Democrat men. Maybe she's just, or to simplify, maybe she's just had enough of pussies." All right. And maybe she wants a mature, responsible guy. And I don't mean age-wise mature, just a responsible, mature man. And she seemed, I'm like, "Well, okay." She even gave me her number. I'm like, "All right, this is looking up." I said, "Let me run it past the Great One, make sure it's okay to text him," which I'm sure it was, but I just want to make sure. He said, yeah, you could, pretty girls could send me pictures. Sure. I'm like, "Okay." Said, "Here you go. Here's his number." Give him a text. 4 days go by, end up hanging out with the Great One yesterday, was it? "Great One, did that girl, what do you think?" And I'm like, I already knew before yesterday. I already knew this was going too well. It was going too well. And I don't think in the history of America, anyone has successfully been set up. I don't think it's ever happened. Hey, set a brother up. No one does it. They'll try. I'm sure there's some honorable men that try. Just so you know, when it comes to setting up, I don't believe any of you do it. That's been my experience. I'm like, I don't believe you're going to go talk to your friend. Because after the first couple times, you're like 18, like, "Oh, is that girl in your dorm or whatever?" "Yeah, tell her, see, Like, go talk to her, have her come out to the party. She never shows up. Oh, what? Hey, were you going to invite Elizabeth? Oh, yeah, I forgot to ask. What kind of brother are you? And don't ask girls to set you up with their female friends. It just is not going to happen. It will not happen. So I don't believe that everyone is like going to bat. I went to bat, and goddamn, I'm even asking out for myself, and I'm exhausted. What in God's fuck all name of shit do you girls want? I know it's a cry to the sky. I know Ryan Stone's laughing his ass off saying, well, the answer is more. I know that. But I don't want to hear another fucking complaint. Swear to God, I don't care. Aaron, the internet's full of millions of people and everyone. Yeah, all you girls on the internet, all, not some, all. You all lost the right to complain. All of you. This is a good guy. That's what Chad reminded me is. Paul's like, well, how do you? I was like, I got some great guys. I have access to some great men. You can find the Twitter. I said something along the lines of every great once in a while, a woman will become so desperate, she'll seek out and heed my advice. But it literally is a 1 in 4 year thing. It's only happened 2 or 3 times in the 10 years Asshole Consulting has been around. And not or, and conjunction, meaning both happening, and the girl showed up. A while ago, we tried to do that dating thing where I'm like, look, if you get married, I want a $5,000 commission, figuring relatively there'd be like-minded people. I don't think we had one successful date. Only Chad Elkins is a successful one. I don't think we had one successful date out of that. I know one guy drove all the way from Orlando up to Jacksonville, Florida. Have them look it up. And the girls just stood him up. And this guy is a hero and a gorgeous man. He is one of the few 10s I know. And even she stood him up. And I was duped or naive, or I was normal. I went back to being a normal, unjaded, cynical person. I went to being a regular person. Because this girl's like, yeah, I read it. She gave me the number. And that stupid logic. Well, she obviously is interested. Oh, until it comes time to actually introduce yourself to the guy. And the previous video I had mentioned, or I had done before, someone asked, like, these girls aren't crying themselves to sleep. I have countering evidence to that. I have girls that report, like, yeah, my girlfriend, I know several, but one in particular, she was roommates, like, yeah, my girlfriend, school counselor, by the way, healthy, goes out, gets hammered, shoots down all the guys, comes back home, cries herself to sleep, and drinks herself to sleep. I think it happens. But okay. How about this, ladies? How about you say yes every once in a while and give the guy a shot? Yeah. Huh? Now, I don't know what you've been told, what the strategy currently is today, what conventional dating strategy is with women today. But just try this. I don't know if this is off, just spitballing here. Why don't you show the fuck up for the date? Why don't you use this word called yes every once in a while? I've never understood, like, okay, you don't know. What does it hurt? What the fuck does it hurt to go out with my friend, the great one, who's going to be a gentleman? They're not all just shut the fuck up. You wouldn't know. Y'all don't go out. The worst that would happen, the worst, is he would show up immediately after work, probably smelling a little bit like sweat, but would take it to a nice coffee shop for a very short, so you're not bothered, you're not anchored into a movie, you're not committed to a ride through the Black Hill. The worst that would happen is you would sit down and have a pleasant conversation with the great one, who, if you did not know, is an interesting, conversational, pleasant man. He's got the internet thing going on, and that's him being the great one. And it is true, but there's a lot of angst and rage and all that. But when you go and hang out with him in a social setting, he is one of the funnest, most easygoing, enjoyable people to hang out with, male or female. And the worst that would happen, The worst that would happen to you, precious little princesses of America, is you'd be mildly entertained. You would be you wouldn't be bored. You'd be entertained for a little while. And what the fuck is your opportunity cost? Going home, crying to sleep, drinking the boot. What? I know, and this, a lot of guys will come back and say, Aaron, they don't like men then, but you're right. But then why the facade? Not even for attention again. There was no attention to be get here. Why the facade? Why the crying at night? I don't care. Don't answer. I really don't care. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy. And if you're capable of it, which I'm increasingly doubting, to figure out how your choices have consequences and actions, and that you reject guys at such spectacular rates, that there has to be some good men in there, and that's why you can't find a man, because you didn't use the word yes every great once in a while. That you can't figure that out. You're crying yourselves, and we can't find a man. You're all talking on the air. Can't find a man. No, he's a good-looking man. He's tall. He works hard. But what? Is that not enough? I'm sure I look like an old fart boomer compared to the fresh and fit crowd, where they're like, yeah, dude, it's like top 5%. Roll was talking about that earlier on Rule Zero, which he hosted. So if you're looking for the episode, it's on his channel. He's talking about 4.5%. And I'm like, did the number just go down even further? At first it was 20, the 80-20 rule, Pareto. That was backed up by the whatever seeking arrangement study, whatever the online dating thing where they rated men. Then you started looking at, what was it? There was an intermediary bit of data that came in. And then when you start looking at dating apps, women were only swiping right on 5%. Now it's down to 4.5. I keep thinking I have these predictions, like it's going to go down to 1 pretty soon. I'm like, no, it can't go to 8. It might as well. What planets need to align to get you dumbass girls off your ass and to give a guy a fucking shot? And this ain't even the half of it. See, because the gray one is not the only guy I know who is a good man that I could trust to take a girl out on a date and be a gentleman about. I got my poker buddies. There's some great men there. There's some great men. I can't mention them or who or what, because small town, there's only a certain amount of people with these jobs. But these men are employed. They're good men. You got to see with poker, you got to learn to read people a little bit. You're like, you act like a dick, but I saw you with your child the other day. You don't seem like a dick. You pay, like, this guy's thoughtful and considerate and caring. And then I'm just like, oh, but Christ, I can't even get the great one fucking day. I have had to ask about like 7, maybe 8 girls now. A lot of times the initial reaction is like, oh my God, has it decayed this much? Has it? I'm trying to, I know it's flipping the sex, but let's say I was single and a girl came like, hey, are you single? I'd be like, reaching for my gun, thumb on the safety, like, okay, what's coming? But let's say it was sincere. I got a girlfriend and you're kind of her type. Yeah, I'd love to set you guys up. I'd be like, really? You got a picture? Right? Oh, yeah. Sure, here's my number. You have her send me a thing. And if the girl texted me, I'm like, yeah, maybe there'd be a little bit of interaction with texting and all that, but inevitably, I don't know, girls, do you go out? When's the last time? When is the last time a guy is taking you on a date, like a real date? And here's the thing, before you say, I haven't taken a shot on a date, or I've been on a date in a long time, I haven't been on a proper date. Have you said yes? Have you tried saying yes? Have you tried of doing the opposite of saying no? Have you said yes? God fucking Christ. It's crocodile tears, but from here on out, it's crocodile tears. I don't mean that like, oh my goodness, my girlfriends are like amazing. No, they're just debt-ridden liberal arts majors like everyone else. I don't dare say my male friends are amazing, but they're good, solid men. And they're good looking too. I'm not setting the girls up with the ugly ones. I know the ugly ones. Good men, but they're ugly. I'm not going to go out with, no 28-year-old babe is going to go out with half these guys. But one guy's really good looking, really stable and get good finances, good man. Whoa. Can't give that guy a shot. Great one, colorful, great personality, hard working, stable finance. Whoa, can't give that guy a shot. Another friend of mine, tall, thoughtful, deep, philosophical, make a good, gainfully employed, can't say what. Yeah. I watch these guys like, try this online dating. They got to go all the way to Denver. She says she'll meet me if I drive to Denver. I'm like, oh yeah, let me know how that goes. They're like, oh, she didn't show up. I gave her $20 to come meet me. She said she needed Uber money. I'm like, But maybe because I kind of dipped my toe on the line. There was the soldier's gun I grabbed and I started taking a couple shots. I revisited the trenches. I wasn't just the theoretician back at command. I went down to the front lines. Hey, got this guy. Come on. No, not me. Taller, better looking. Okay, here. Nothing. It's like, get fucked. Get the fuck out of here. Don't even look, girls, if you have no intention, just save yourself and the guy the time. Just say, no, I got a boyfriend. Just go with it all the time. Say, nope, I got a boyfriend. I can't, maybe I'm just pissed off. I wasted my time. Like, I'm going to do my buddy a solid. Now, next time I say, I don't care. I'm done. You just, nope, we're not going through this. I'm not looking out for, no, too bad. You don't get the treasure trove of good guys. I know guys who make well over 100,000, well over outside, I'm saying, of Rapid City. Like, I got guys, they'll fly like Chad Elkins, I got plenty of guys. Would you like to meet men who make $250,000 a year or more? Would you like to meet a bunch of guys that are too fucking bad? These guys don't have time to freaking waste flying in and out. You'd have to fly in to where they are in different places within the United States. We know how that's going to go. Can't be bothered to text a guy, let alone book a flight and set up your own hotel and car rental, right? Just the absolute, I guess it's the I'm so sick of one word's coming out and the actions totally never matching up. Stop complaining you can't find guys. You don't put any effort into it. In order to, I can't catch any fish. Well, Cappy, have you tried going, leaving your living room? Well, I can't catch any fish though. Well, yeah, it's because you're not even anywhere of water. I go to the lake. I can't catch any fish. Well, you don't even have a fishing rod. You can't complain about not finding guys if you don't cast every once in a while and go on the fucking date. God, what? And what do you think? Guys going to wait around forever? You think guys don't have to get jobs and inevitably support? Although, thank you very much for voting for Democrats and disability checks, especially that mental disability check. Now we can all think, oh my goodness, I have a touch of the tisms. Government check, please. Why are all the men living at home? Why can't I find a man? Why can't I find a real man who has a job? Did you vote for him not to work? I mean, we could expand the analogy. You're pouring coolant into the fishing pond. You're like, I can't believe the fish I'm catching are toxic with coolant and I can't eat them. I don't know. How about you stop pouring coolant in the pond? I think what I'm going to do, if ever I ever get I'm making you girls pay. I want to find a guy who heard he had some cool. Oh, yeah. $500 deposit, only half of which is refunded when you go on a date with my buddy. No standing up, no bullshit. Can't find a man. Have you tried the word yes? I dare don't ask you girls to actually be equal to men and ask men out. That'd just be crazy talk. We know you only mean equal in things like, I don't know, rights like voting, driver's license, property ownership, which I'm not against. But as like when it comes to that responsibility side of rights, you get a little shaky. You all go run back to 1885, huh? Well, I do declare, if I drop my handkerchief, a man should spot it 8 miles away and come to my rescue and ask for my father's hand in courtship and bring me 40 mules and a donkey and pay for my student loans. I'm a traditional girl like that. All right, now the internet gods are being Kuantahahi. Let's just wait. Let's just wait. You guys can't see it. I got to read out here. Just give me a second. We'll get to the super chats. Here we go. Dre, $2. The great one is taller, younger, and seasoned than Cappy. No, he's older than me. Not by much, but he's older than me. But he is in better shape. He is taller and he's in better shape. Guy's got probably pushing his 6-pack right now. Zyro Fonte, $5. Can you explain the Gaussian 1 to 10 scale you reference? How many standard deviations corresponds to each number? I assume 5 is 0 standard. Oh, yeah, that's good. See, I don't know what the Z-score tables would look like on that, Zyro, but the Gaussian is what everyone is intuitively used to. Like if you found a 10, you might see 10 10s in your life, like a genuine 10. And so, but a linear 10 would be in the top 10% because it's 1, 2 deciles. So you've seen thousands of 10. Well, 10% of the population is the top 10%, of which that objective standard has gone down as people have gotten fatter and uglier. So the Gaussian, what would a 9 be? 9s are less than 5%. Absolutely, 9's less than 5%. So what's a Z-score of 5% on one side of the hang on, let me look up Z-score. Z-score table, 5%. Okay. 40. Okay, 0, 50. That's the Z-score. I need to find 5%. So 5% would be 1.65, maybe 1. No, we'd have to go 1.9 because this is not accounting for the other tail. So you'd have to be almost. Oh no, wait, is that? Yeah, so a 9 would be a 1.6 if I did the math right. A 9 would be a 1.6 Z-score. So what would a 1 be? Okay, this website is just being difficult. It's just being difficult. Yeah, so kind of back it out that way. How many 8s? 8s are like maybe 10, 12% of the population. A Gaussian 8. I mean, if we had data, we could rate it. We could go and actually find out if we had the data. But that's there you go. Some ballpark numbers. Drew, $2. A girl told me guys who live in chaos are fun. Maybe I should do that. Hey, I got a buddy who just got out of jail. Are you looking for a guy? Oh, really? Sure didn't want that stable, self-employed fella, but a felon. Oh my God, I'm so wet. Nonstop Dre, $5. Here's a question I wonder, since women don't like men. If women even hate or don't trust other women at all, why should men love or trust? I don't even want to guess what they think of each other. And and if you read my upcoming book, which it's edited, it's ready to go. We are literally only waiting on Old Man Rollo to finish the cover. Most women do not hate men. They do not. They don't like men. The vast majority of women don't like the vast majority of men. They don't hate them. They're indifferent, would be another way to put it. But there's a significant percentage of women that I would say I hate men. That's about 30%, at least here in the United States. If women, why should men love or trust them? I don't know. I wouldn't even be able to guess what women think of each other. I don't. I'm not even asking. This is not even a sex war of the sexes question. This is a question of adult behavior. This is simply honoring your word. And there's this premise presented to men that, well, women want to find guys. No, your actions do not validate that. Oh, I know if it's the right guy, fine. Yes. But why? It's like saying what would you think? What kind of an uncle would I be if I say, hey, nieces, I'm coming to town? Oh, Uncle Aaron's coming to town. My nieces get excited because they're some of the very few people in the world that are excited to see me. And I talk to him on the phone. I'm like, yeah, we're going to go to the bakery and get chocolate and donuts, and we're going to go to the park, and I'm going to take you fishing. And I just didn't show up. Fuck me. I'm a bad person. I'm a liar, and I'm doing it to innocent little kids. Maybe doing it to, but you tell your buddy, hey, I'll meet you at the baseball game, and you don't. And your buddy's really looking forward to seeing you at the baseball game. And you don't even call or text or nothing. You just ghost a man. Although I think men are more invested in the date than your buddy is in a baseball game. I think it does go closer to like me standing my nieces up for a date. What's wrong with you people? Why would you say that? How can you live with yourselves, frankly? Why? It's adult behavior. And then I would complain on the internet. Well, my nieces never want to hang out with me. Why can't I find my nieces to hang out with me? Like, remember when Uncle Aaron stood us up and lied to us? We cried ourselves to sleep. That's why I don't get. You're lying. Why are you giving people false information? But the why doesn't matter. All that matters is what is. I've known that since I was like, how old was Jeff? I was 26 when the why doesn't matter. All that matters is I was almost half my age I am now. The why doesn't matter. All that matters is what is. And I don't care why. All I ask is to stop complaining you can't find guys. Just stop with that. And for you guys, don't even heed that. Not that you're not at that stage right now. But you can't find a guy. Oh, that's too bad. Like, don't help. They got lips. They got legs. They can walk and talk. They can ask a guy out. Now that I thought about it, like, I could never do that. I feel horrible about myself. So I don't know what all I'm asking for is some adult behavior, and then to stop being so dense, stop being so obtuse, or just outright stupid. Do you actually not know why you can't find guys? Drew, $2. Some girl told me that guys who are losers are fun. Well, the same girl. Well, okay, good. Good. Okay, you know what, Drew? I'm going to do it. I'm going to say, hey, my buddy just got out of prison. Are you single? I'm going to see where that gets me. Why not? What did he do? It can't be murder or nothing. But what? Theft? Grand theft auto? Assault. Ooh, they like assault. Zaranks, $5. Sounds like there's no choice but to laugh in TFM. TFM has gone through some horrendously bad times. Horrendously bad. I understand how he got there, but I was like, nah, it's not going to get that bad for the average. Like, we can do something better. And I still don't think you're going to get to that point. Though TFM is his own unique individual and has his own choices and chooses his own path and got to the point where he is now. By intent. So it's not like bad things happen to him. And it wasn't his fault. So I don't think people are going to get to that point yet. But my God, like in the olden days, you're like, oh, Peggy Sue's going to be at the city festival tomorrow. No, maybe I'll introduce you. And then you'd be introduced. Oh my goodness. Or at the, I don't know, ice cream social at church, whatever. This shit. Oh yeah. I'd like to meet this guy. Oh yeah. Here's the number. Oh yeah. I'll text you my information. Yeah. Okay. Nothing. Don't even. And obviously, we are the ones that will have to adjust to the facts put in front of us. We have to accept this reality. I just want to say, if you start seeing fewer and fewer men even asking for their buddies, like, hey, I got a buddy. Although I don't know when in general, though, ladies, you're complaining that men aren't asking you out anymore, right? Right? You're complaining, why don't men ask women anymore? Dirky. Really? You are complaining about that, right? Okay, well, the trend's only going to continue. Why would anyone ask people on a date if you keep rejecting them? Like after a while, you don't catch no fish. Like, guess I'm not going to catch no fish. Why? Because you're probably going to go do something else. The day is coming. The girls are going to have to ask out the guys, but it's not going to happen because, again, you girls in this one regard are drastically inferior to men. You come nowhere near our courage. Nowhere near. Prove me wrong. Start proving me wrong then. The Unrepentant Tycoon, $5. Shit, I've heard from female friends I have set up. No BS. He parts his hair on the wrong side. His car is blue. He wears his dad's shoes. Nike. What's wrong with Nike? I thought New Balance was the dad. Okay, fine. Have fun being single for the rest of your life. Parts his hair on the wrong side. What's the correct side? It's his hair. Well, how much you want to bet if the guy says, yeah, she's got blue hair? How dare you? Super hypersonic. Wee. Nonstop Dre, $2. Vincent said Cappy really loves big solid men. That's Vincent. Vincent is projecting. I'm lucky I made it out of New Jersey with my asshole intact. I just want to let everyone know that. You keep your eye close on. You keep Vince ahead of you. Hatton Clogs, $2. If Cappy's so happy, why poor? Why need bail? I don't need a bailout. I'm not poor. I'm middle income. I don't have expenses. I mean, I got expenses, but they're not. Well, okay. The expenses keep popping up like lightning strikes and radon evacuation systems. But aside from those multi-$1,000 pop-up expenses, I really should just have, like electric bills and gas. Nonstop Dre, $2. But Cappy, they say Christian Greys are everywhere. Yeah, I guess they're all waiting for. I guess I don't know who else they're waiting for. I wish I could show you a picture of the Great One, but he is a handsome man. GF approves. Like the GF was present when I was talking to this young lady, and she's always, he good looking? And my girlfriend's like, yeah, he is. He's a good looking guy. Hatton Clogs, $2. If women want men, why no ask? Where are all the good men? Yeah, it's getting to that. You're going to have to. Look, in the olden times, this would have been an anecdote. Okay. I would have told my friends, and it would only have had an effect on my friends in Milwaukee. Oh, yeah, look out for this school. There's something wrong with those girls in that neighborhood. This is the internet now. And for better or worse, I got an audience that reaches thousands of people regularly. And all the men are compiling in their notes. And now we're saving millions of young men every year. Like, well, I'm not going to bother with that. It's like real-time information. You get to see the stock change and go up and down as different economic data is released. And until there's actually some girls saying yes to dates, you can expect the rate of men to ask you out to go down, which in some ways might be good because most of you girls don't want these guys asking you out. It seemed that men had been harassing you and bothering you most of these times, and only the very good looking. And so men, we're sussing it out. We're figuring it out. But men aren't asking, oh, okay, so maybe that's a good thing. You're being asked out a lot less by guys you had no intention of going out with, didn't want to go out with. You're like, oh, I'm offended. So there's the upside to that, but then don't complain the same time. Well, why aren't the super hot guys asking me out? I'm wondering how much of that is also due to if you are a 10 male, let's say linear or a top 5% guy, and you're on the interwebs, um, dating, online dating apps. Why? Maybe it is good for them. Like they don't go out in public anymore. Like, well, I get all these girls online here. I don't have to go. I'm wondering if that's also keeping them out of the real world market. The unrepentant tycoon, $2, frustrated waste of time. Women is better than Baldur's Gate 3. No, well, they're both a waste of time. I'm going to grant you that. Baldur's Gate is a pretty bad game. Baldur's Gate 3. It's a pretty bad game. That is that I've been very frustrated with. I'll tell you what I told the GF earlier today. He's like, how's the game? I said, I'd rather go to church. I would. I'd rather go to church. I'll get something out of a sermon. Hopefully, if it's good. Yeah, I'd take church over both. Whether I'm pinch hitting for my buddy or for myself. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I've said it before. I would just pay for it. I would just pay for it. Men do not have time. The real ones, anyway, the employed ones, the ones you girls would like, we don't have time for this middle school girl bullshit. And how, if he's good looking enough, if he's a 7.5 or an 8 and he's got a job and he's hygienic, so okay, fine, he parts his hair on the wrong side. Could you go on a date with him anyway and maybe see if maybe there's some qualities he might have over the horrific fact, oh my God, Trisha, he parted it on the left side. Ew, grody. Anthony Sirotino, our Italian agent in the field, $5. They want to be treated as equals and also women. Now, you can't have it both ways, ladies. You just cannot. What? Never mind. You can have your cake and eat it too, ladies. They are not the same things and they can't have both. Nope, they can't. They think that we're like holding out on them. Here, let me bail you out of your student loans and tell you you're great and amazing and strong and independent. And then make decisions and lead, but not tell you what to do. They are. Dude, the wedding rate and the fertility rate for domestic Americans, Native Americans, I don't mean American Indians, I mean people born here. Immigrants, different story, but the native born here in America, Americans, the fertility rate is going to tank even more. The marriage rate is going to tank even more. And the self-deletion rate is going to go up, and so is drug use, psychotropic, antidepressant drug use. The derivative is increasing. The rate of change is increasing. Travis Sharp, sorry. $20, generous dollars. Thank you very much, Travis. Cappy, God bless you for pointing out the bullshit and preaching the truth. I don't hear what it really boils down to. Let's remove the gender because it's not relevant. The lesson here is to don't lie. Not because there's anything wrong with lying, there is, but you're wasting people's time. And on top of it, don't pour bleach in the pond and then complain that all the fish are dead in the pond. Don't complain about, if you're not going to say yes to dates, stop whining you can't find men. And we know that's not going to happen because I don't know what else girls are going to do for fun. But I think you're starting to see, guys are definitely becoming inured. They're not paying attention to you girls anymore. I didn't think it was possible, but the increasing number of, I can't believe whatever, I was getting attacked and men did nothing. Well, why? What counter investment? What were they supposed to? This isn't a society. This is not a society we have. We have two groups of people living within the same borders. And increasingly, one is being told, well, we don't want anything to do with you. You're like, okay. And they're like, why aren't they having anything to do with us? Maybe Baldur's Gate 3 is better. Maybe it is. I found a pair of gauntlets that was kind of cool. All right. Death Punch, $5, 46 for $5. The most annoying thing is people bothering you about being single. Mind your business and go back to being miserable in your relationship. Laugh out loud. I don't know. It's been a while. People bother you about being single. The answer's like, okay, fine. You set me up. Find me a nice girl. Find me an attractive girl that I find physically attractive and doesn't have other guys' kids. Let me know when it happens. Universal coordinate, 80 generous Australian dollars. Thank you very much, Universal. Cappy in Australia, Melbourne. It's Melbourne. It's not Melbourne. It's not Melbourne. It's Melbourne. Sydney is not Sydney. It's Sydney bin. And Canberra is not Canberra. It's Canberra bin. 5'9", 160,000 plus trade. No debt fit. Dating is all but a waste of time. Were you the guy that goes up to Bali all the time? Were you one of my clients? I know you are the well-off guy who is very kindly charity donating large sums of money to podcasters like myself. But I also had a client who was a tradie, worked West Side, and he's just like, no, I'm just going to Bali, man. I'm just going to Bali and getting the shoes. All but a waste of time. All want the 6-foot bad boy covered in tats with no money who just hit it and quit it. Men let them go. Keep fit, start a business, and look after yourselves. Yeah, or go get my book, The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. Because men and women, both of them are leaving. I know this makes it sound like women are rejecting men, and they are, but men are also rejecting women. Women just don't realize that yet. Increasing, but it's going to be way more than, I think it's going to be more than half. They estimated 45% by 2030. I think it's going to be more than that. But people aren't going to have a spouse for the rest of their lives or kids. So get that Life Without The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. And I think I have linked below is a cheat. No, The Dad You Never Had. For you, girl, they can't find a guy. What really? If you're serious about this, ladies, if you're really serious about this, you want to find a guy. You can hire me. I'm going to charge you an arm and a leg, or you can just go take my course, The Dad You Never Had. It's what your dad should have told you. And I had a huge choice to decide on what to make when I was putting together that course. I'm like, okay, do I just make it for men? Because I know girls aren't going to listen to it. They didn't listen to the dads anyway. They're not going to. You girls are impervious to empirical information. Stop majoring in dumb stuff. Why do you hate women? Don't have kids you can't afford. Why do you hate women? Why is it always the response is we hate women? We're trying to help you. I decided to make a co-ed just in case there were some girls that came along. And there's like dating advice that your dad should have given you if you were a woman or a young lady. So take that. Take that course. And I don't know, do what's in the course. Yeah, I mean, be very charismatic. I'm not saying don't ask. 5'9". I had success at 5'9". It's going to take a lot of work, but just I think it's more real in your expectations. It's not like you all got to be 6 foot. It helps, but for God's sake, don't do what we did early in the before time. Don't do what we did in the 90s, and as like set aside a Friday night to go on a date and plan an actual date. Skype or social media, FaceTime, whatever. Coffee date or drinks. And that should solve most of your problems. You won't waste your time. But man, the number of times I would go to a jazz club. Like I'd set up dinner reservation, like jazz club, where there'd be some dancing. Oh yeah, I'll teach you to dance. Sit there by myself. Like, is this really what? Nonstop Dre, $2. I've had women approach me where I'm at and ask me out. Good, but you're overseas, so, which is good. Glad you're over there, Dre. Jeremy Lewis, 5, but not American women. I'm going to guess it was the locals, right? Jeremy Lewis, $5. Even Johnny Kim, Navy SEAL medical doctor astronaut, is probably underqualified for many women. Oh, yeah. Well, how tall is Johnny Kim? I hate to keep pulling out there's no hope and black pill. But goddamn, the data keeps coming in all the time. That Baker 5 Canadian. I thought it was just me, but maybe it is closing in towards the top 1% based on my results as well. Time to read the menu. 1% maybe. You're going to be leaving a lot of, I don't think it could go much. I mean, how much lower can it get? Top 5%, 4.5%, 1 in 20, I guess maybe. Yeah. You go to Walmart, 1 in 20 men are about attracted. I guess so. Sure. But then my buddy, the great one, is that all these other guys are that attracted. And a lot of them make a lot of money. Oh, I know, girls, do you want a firefighter? I know a firefighter. Would you like a firefighter? I got a firefighter. Makes lots of money. Does training. He's a little bit older now. He's like my age. So he's like in management. Do you want a firefighter? No. Too bad. Nonstop Dre, $2. TFM is more ahead of his time than even Cappy. I think he has a niche. I don't know if he's going to be where all the men are. Wisdom Vision Productions. By the way, I like TFM. I consider him a friend. I don't even disagree with his path in life. I just don't think that's where most people are going to end up. Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. The only times I got genuine attention from women was when I was toxic. My soul can't handle that long term, though. Bass Ackwards world we live in, clown world. You could fake it. I mean, that gets exhausting. Zoranx, $5 again. Notice we continue to follow the female paradigm. It frustrates both male and female. I think Genesis 3:16 told us it isn't how we're supposed to operate. If I knew what that was, I'd know what it was. Is it like, don't let her in anywhere near the apple tree? Was that what it was? Preamble, 10 Australian. I missed the stream. Here, have some money. Thanks. Well, you can always play it back. It's not like you missed. This isn't like the 80s where if you missed the show on MacGyver, you didn't know what happened. You had to rely on your buddies the next day at school to tell you what happened. Matt Falconer, $5. Women have advocated for decades for the pussification of men and boys, and now they complain about not finding a good man. They created this. In my new book, it's called A World Without Men. I go over that exact same thing, where I'm like, you voted in all these social programs, all this free shit, and you're surprised. Oh my God, the men are taking advantage of the free shit. They did. They got the exact Democrat soy boy pussies they always voted for. Drew, $5. As someone who used to work at corrections, I was shocked with how many beautiful women visited guys who were so dangerous and complete degenerates. Right. You could get jacked. You could claim. I'm doing it. Next girl I said, I'm like, I got a buddy who just got out of prison. You got any interest in dating him? Are you single? I got this mild-mannered, responsible CPA in Chicago. Do you want to? Where'd she go? She ran away. Wisdom Vision Productions, $2. Greatest show on earth. Enjoy the decline. No problem, Wisdom. I'm not the greatest show. The greatest show is out there just watching this. The greatest show is watching these girls generation after generation hit spinsterhood and dried up eggs. And then all of a sudden they're crying and whining because they can't find a guy. What? That is the fascinating show to me. And we're entering, I don't know, what would it be called? The third turning or third chapter or the third act. The guys, you don't see it because it's not fancy and they don't go out. Men don't, go, I'm quitting going home and I can't find a girl. They just leave. They go jerk off to the porn. They go, they just leave. They go work. They go ghost. There's not this big, oh my God, I can't, and I'm so drama. They don't go to a TikTok and yell about it. They just leave. It's a quiet quitting, and they're leaving. Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. I haven't got time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit. Cappy's not going to get that reference, or will he? I haven't got time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit. What was that from? Hang on. It's on YouTube. Oh, The Professional. Oh, it's been years since I saw that. A young Natalie Portman, correct? That was a great movie. Great movie. I'm a cleaner. Nonstop Dre, 362 bucks. Cappy's favorite part of church, being on his knees. I don't have to even bend down, Dre. I'm that short. And people and now we kneel. I just stay standing up. Everyone comes down to my height. Drew, $2. I think that most women believe stable equals boring. I guess they'll never find out if they don't go out with the guy. Benny D, $5. Lifestyle is more important than love for many modern women. Got to look physically, emotionally, and financially on her Instagram and Facebook. That could be true too. We're going into younger groups of people I'm unaware of. BFC Z8 Nap, $5. Women shouldn't be held at the same standards as men. No, they shouldn't be, because we're different people. Now, we should all be treated equally under the law. We should all have the same rights and privileges. But when it comes to like social interactions, like in the olden days, if there was a girl who needed, water jug on the water cooler, okay, I'd help with it. No. Not going to happen. No. They are eternal children, so approach accordingly. No, I don't. I'd like to say that, but I can't, because if you had the world kissing your ass, you too would be a spoiled child. And I've met girls who didn't have their asses kissed. I met girls who were the nerds, and they were hardworking women, and they became the nerds and the engineers. I've seen the women. That's why I advocate, like, you don't go after the super popular. Yeah, those girls, no different than their trust fund baby boyfriends like Dean Phillips or President Biden, are a bunch of fuckwits. They are children. But don't discount the real women that work hard. They're there. Imagine how they feel in all this, where it's just like all of a sudden these guys are abandoning women altogether as well. I'm not saying they're majority, but there are women out there that do work hard and they're not spoiled because they aren't pretty. Or they are pretty, but a lot of times there's that naughty librarian where, like, look, if you would just wear a dress and not dress like Hillary Clinton, you'd be pretty. I don't know. So approach accordingly. I will say avoid 9s and 10s. Just avoid 9s and 10s. That's where your, what would it be called, an axiom or rule applies. 9s and 10s, just don't need that trouble. Zyro Fonte, $2. We meet 80,000 people. 10 divided by 80,000 equals point where the z-score equals 3 point. Oh, okay, I see what you're doing. Yeah, so the would be 3 point. Yeah. Okay, so we meet 80. Is that true? You meet about 80,000 people in your lifetime. You'd see a 10. Well, don't you have to account for that half of them are women? So shouldn't it be 40,000 women? Yeah, 10. So yeah, that's about right. How many? I've met 5 or 6 genuine 10 women. Genuine 10s. Like, where you're like, whoa, shit. Like, you're not even a human being. Like, my behavior changes when I'm around those girls. Not even necessarily out of fear or intimidation, but like, whoa, that's odd, man. It's like you got a third eye. So, I ballpark. Justified Misogyny, $2. Once again, renting them out changed my life. Good for you, man. And they're making some money on the side too. Good for them. Fun and honesty, $5. Most women drop all the dumb standards if they like you. This 6 foot, 6-pack, 100K plus isn't true for normal women. 5'10", 70K and growing 6-pack. I will go with you on some of that. Yes. That's what they say they want. They shoot themselves in the foot. What you say is true. If they meet the guy, they're not even saying yes to the guy to give him a chance. And so the effective reality is they are not going to date the guy unless he's got 666 and all that other stuff. The great one does have a 6-pack. I didn't ask to see it. I'm just like, God, he's got veiny arms and all that. I'm like, yeah, he's in shape. But if you're not even going to go and give the guy a shot, how are you going to know? How are you going to end up liking the guy? I mean, yeah, I'm a guy, but back when I was younger, if she was physically attractive for me to have sex with, yes, I'd go on a date with her. I'd get to know her. I even did the, kind of look for the naughty librarian in there somewhere. Look for the girl, like, what would she, a rule, you can use this rule. What would she look like in a French maid outfit? Think about that. You get rid of her glasses, let her hair down, and you put her in some sexy lingerie. I bet you'd hit that. That turns a lot of 5s into 7s and 8s because most women dress for shit now, too. As I sit here with my Snoopy sweater. Oh, here, Zoran's going to give us the Bible study here. Genesis 3:16 says, women will have desire for a husband, but he shall rule over her. They'll try to supplant the men they're interested in and look for a better once that happens. I'm not religious. If that's what the Bible says, that's what the Bible says. But it's not going that way. It's also exhausting. You can't even get them to show up on a date. You can't get them to do one simple thing. I don't want to be in charge of them. Date an accountant, guys. Accountants and nurses. Date accountant. I know a lot of you guys disagree about the nurse thing. Accountants and nurses. Real nurses, not the ones that went to the 2-week program. Travis Sharp, $5 again. Cappy, how long will it be until your new book will be released? You have to take that up with old man Rollo Tomasi. The book is edited and done. The description is even written. I am merely waiting for Rollo to get me the cover. I have to enter in the table of contents, but the paperback will be ready. The Kindle will be ready probably within 24 hours of each other. Week, maybe, depending on how long Amazon approves it. So I'll make an announcement. Don't worry about it. Did you know, Matt, $5 Canadian? It got worse in these streets the past 5 to 10 years. I'm having fun out here and loving every minute. Knowing is half the battle. Catch and release. Let's fucking go. Nonstop trade $2. Is 2023 Cappy? Define real women. Y chromosomes. Or is it? No, X chromosome. I forgot which one it is. Jane Hobbs, $2. No reason to be married if you don't work out. Correct. You got to stay in shape for the girl too. All right, there you go. Guys, quite literally do anything else with your life right now. If you see a cute girl, ask her out, sure. But promise me, all of you promise me. I'm not saying don't ask out girls. But when you ask them out, have zero expectations. Get to the point I was when I was like 21, 22, where I'd work shifts and all of a sudden they'd call me and like, hey, Clary, contact dispatch. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And like, there's a Jessica said you guys are supposed to go on a date. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. That happened like 2 or 3 times. That's the point you want to get to. And then you get on with your life and you work, make money and you go have fun. And you enjoy your hobbies and because you do not have time for this shit. You don't. Danny Glover, I'm too old for this shit. And what? Not Metal Gear. Lethal Weapon 4. We're too old for this shit. You could be 13 years old. You're too old for this shit. If yours want to find, you could. Oh no. Oh, am I going to say it? Am I going to say it? It's up to you girls now. You get to make up for the past 30 years of bullshit. And you get to make it that men ask you out again. Or you can ask guys out. But what is happening? I've been around, 40 odd years. I'm almost 50 years old. I have seen the oil tanker of the dating world slowly turn around over almost the past 5 decades. Where we went from traditionalism to now we're modern. It's going to take almost another 50 years for you girls. If you ever wanted men in your life, which again, I don't believe most of you do, and that's fine. But if you do, you're going to have to turn this oil taker around. And you're going to have to turn, and it's going to take a long ass time. Because I don't know what you do to a generation of men, several generations of men, where the vast majority of the time they're rejected, which is okay, it's fine. But where but then flaking and ghosting, and they're completely demoralized. I don't know. Charlie Brown would always kick the football. He'd always believe, Lucy would always convince him. That's a cartoon. After the 4th or 5th time, you land on the back, the guy's like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is all hilarious. We presume women are listening to this. Alex Patino, $5. Nothing to say. Take my money. That's no problem. I'll take your money. Alex Patino, truck driving Latino, agent in the field. Alex laughing his ass off because he's got a nice wife and kids. He's like, man, I bet though, Alex, you must have had some pains in the asses back in the day. Some drove you into the arms of that woman. All right. Link below, I think, is the link to the course, The Dad You Never Had. If you would like to avoid other painful lessons that you could avoid, through a course rather than trial and error in the real world, which is costly and hurts, take that course, The Dad You Never Had. Also, guys, don't be chase women, chase excellence. I'd go get Rich Cooper's book, Unplugged Alpha. That's how he tells you how to do it. I also recommend that you get your finances. What do I do if I'm not chasing girls? Get your finances together. Also available on Teachable, alongside the course, The Dad You Never Had. You can also sign up for Achieving Financial Excellence. That's always available. You can go to the gym. You can go hiking. You can work hard. There's so much other stuff to do. And if you want a list, there's the menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex, of which there's a female menu too, ladies. For those of you just, Mr. Right isn't coming along. Jason Momoa, your prince hasn't shown up yet. 42 years old. He should have been here by now. Someday your prince will come into another woman that's not you. Yeah, there's so much else you could be doing. All right, I'll see you guys later. Toodles.